This is a CBS2 News update. I'm Mary Calvi. Happening today, a video court appearance for the man charged in the hit-and-run death of a beloved New Jersey high school principal. Police say Freddie Garcia had been drag racing down Stelton Road in Piscataway when he lost control of his car and struck 49-year-old Tyrone Harrison. Police say Garcia then abandoned his car and ran before falsely reporting that it had been stolen. Garcia now faces a long list of charges, including aggravated manslaughter and knowingly leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death. Grief counselors have been offering support to students and staff at New Brunswick High School all week.
Caring person, lovable person, had a lot of respect here. He got me out of trouble a couple times. I was shocked. I ain't gonna lie, I was shocked. I'm still kind of shocked.
Garcia is believed to have been part of a drag racing group and was racing against at least 2 other cars that night. A city sanitation truck driver is facing charges after police say he hit and killed a man after driving the wrong way down a one-way street in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Investigators say the victim was trying to cross Brooklyn Avenue near Eastern Parkway when he was hit yesterday morning. The driver, 33-year-old Aaron Gilchrist, remained on the scene. He is charged with failure to yield to a pedestrian, driving the wrong direction on a one-way street, and failure to exercise due care. Gilchrist has been with the city sanitation department since 2005, but is now suspended. The accident remains under investigation. Hurricane Michael left a devastatingly wide path of destruction from Florida's panhandle up to Virginia. At least 11 people are dead. FEMA Administrator Brock Long expects that number to rise. Nearly 6,700 people took refuge in 54 shelters in Florida. More than 1.4 million customers in Georgia, Florida, Alabama, and South Carolina lost power. There is an estimated $8 billion in insured losses. Michael is the first Category 4 hurricane to make landfall in Florida's panhandle since record-keeping began in 1851. How much Michael will we feel in our forecast? Let's turn things over to John Elliott.
I got to tell you, Mary, in light of those statistics and some of the images we're seeing more and more, you know, the heavy rain that we dealt with this morning and the leftover wind we're feeling now are related to Michael, but compared to all of the loss, it's just makes you kind of stop and count your blessings. So, beautiful shot here right now. Look at this, the city, a mix of sun and clouds overhead. Now, unlike my brand new weather monitors, our forecast isn't necessarily black and white. We are going to see some shades of gray with a fall feel. 59, winds out of the west screaming at 25, and those aren't the strongest winds. So temperatures between 48 and 60. Cool? Yeah, man. Temperatures compared to yesterday, it's 20 degrees colder for parts of the area. And look at these winds. Belmar, just like 10 minutes ago, I was looking at a gust at 43 miles an hour. So it's a blustery day today. We have a wind advisory in effect for the next hour or so for parts of the area. These winds are going to continue to blow. But again, that is high pressure building in with an area low pressure leaving. That area low pressure is what's left of Michael. So we will reap that wind and see the sunshine. And yeah, we end up with cooler numbers, quite a bit cooler. Don't forget, overnight tonight into Saturday, a little bit of shower activity, then sunny and bright for Sunday. Mary?
John, thank you. A commuter alert. Carry cash if you need to buy or refill a MetroCard this weekend. Plans for a system-wide upgrade will leave vending machines unable to process credit and debit card transactions on Saturday from 12:01 a.m. to 5 a.m. You can still use cash at some of the larger vending machines. Several of the 20 people who lost their lives in the horrific Schoharie limo crash will be laid to rest this weekend. Combined services will begin today for Abigail and Adam Jackson, Mary and Robert Dyson, and Amy, Axel, and Richard Steenberg Jr., along with Allison King. Services for Shane and Aaron McGowan will start tomorrow. Many of the victims were in the limo celebrating a birthday when the driver lost control, crashing into a parking lot and killing 2 pedestrians. An operator of the limousine company has been arrested and charged with criminally negligent homicide. Happening now, City of Newark officials are handing out free water filters to reduce potential lead contamination from tap water. Officials are going door to door to properties with known or suspected lead service lines to hand out those filters. This is after the city received results of a lead and copper study last week that found the corrosive control treatment in part of the water system is not effective. The city says they will work to implement new measures and help property owners replace lead service lines. Residents without those lines do not have to be concerned about lead in their water. Well, discouraging news for 400,000 tenants in the city's public housing services. Repairs to most crumbling apartments are not likely anytime soon. The new head of NYCHA says there's just not enough money. He sat down with CBS2 political reporter Marcia Kramer.
The bathroom is indescribable. Layers of paint fall into the bathtub. There's no top on the toilet, and there's a pipe so rusty that layers of crud hang off and fall on people. Bathrooms and kitchens like this abound in NYCHA's 170,000 apartments, but the agency's new boss admits only a fraction will be remodeled in the next 5 years.
With the money in hand, I imagine we would be hard-pressed to do more than 20% of the bathrooms and kitchens. Hard-pressed.
In a frank and candid interview, Stanley Brezhnev says the agency is so strapped for cash, it will have to triage repairs.
We simply do not have in hand all the resources that would be necessary.
So after years of officials lying about lead paint inspections, papering over needed repairs, and being sued by the federal government, the new NYCHA regime is trying a new strategy, telling the truth. The mayor says residents
would much rather hear straight talk than hear empty promises.
So here's more straight talk. With winter coming and fears of going without heat, there's only enough money to replace 182 of 2,097 boilers over the next 3 years, 950 of over 2,400 roofs over the next 10 years.
We will identify the roofs, the boilers in most need of attention, thinking about the very difficult winter that we had last year. But in an ideal world, we would have hundreds of millions of dollars more.
Because funds are limited for big-ticket repairs, Dan Brezhnev says he's focusing on improving regular maintenance, response times, and other things that the agency's regular staff of over 3,000 can handle.
I don't want to give the impression that we are powerless, that we cannot improve things. We can, but there is a limit imposed on us by the absence of resources.
So we're going to systematically go at the biggest problems. That is, you can like or dislike the word triage, but I would say it prioritization.
Brezhnev says he's hoping the midterm elections will bring lawmakers to Washington who will allocate more money for NYCHA. And speaking of the midterms, today is the final day for New Yorkers to register to vote in this year's November elections. Almost all of New York's top offices are up for election, including governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, comptroller, and state senate. New York's 27 House of Representatives seats are also up for election, as well as U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand's seat in the Senate. The deadline to register in New Jersey is October 16th. For more information, you can head to CBSNewYork.com. Well, Facebook is cracking down on political misinformation ahead of next month's midterm elections. The company says it shut down more than 800 pages of accounts, and that broke the rules against what it calls spam and coordinated inauthentic behavior. The company says spam networks are stepping up their use of sensational political content to drive traffic to their websites. Facebook has been under scrutiny since 2016 for allowing misinformation to flourish on its platform. It is the first of its kind in the U.S., an ice cream parlor packed with Booza. So what exactly is Booza? We send CBS 2's Vanessa Murdoch to Williamsburg, Brooklyn for the scoop.
Don't be fooled by its signature stretch and dough-like appearance. This isn't the base of pizza, it's Booza.
My friend said, oh, this is ice cream with booze, and then we came in and we found out that it was not.
Still, sampling was a success.
It was amazing, and I really didn't want booze with my ice cream anyway.
We like saying that Booza is like gelato on steroids.
Michael Sadler is co-founder of Republic of Booza. Sadler tells us he first tried the frozen treat 10 years ago in the old city of Damascus and thought it was the most incredible form of ice cream he'd ever tasted.
Its principal distinction is a soft elasticity that ultimately makes it smoother, denser, and creamier than other forms of ice cream.
Word is, Booza came before any other ice cream on the planet.
It was developed for the first time about 500 years ago in the eastern part of the Mediterranean called the Levant.
Now it's being crafted in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and is inspiring smiles.
It's really cool, actually. It's really nice.
Booza starts as a liquid, but quickly turns solid when poured into the freezing drum. It isn't churned, but pounded with a 3-foot wooden pestle.
This works out all of the air to give you that super smooth, creamy consistency.
To perfect the dessert, one must alternate between pounding and stretching. Despite its elastic appearance, connoisseurs say it's the smoothest, creamiest ice cream you've ever had. So, of course, being an ice cream fanatic, I had to try it.
Thank you.
Not gracefully, I might add, but it is delicious. From Williamsburg, Brooklyn, Vanessa Murdoch, CBS 2 News.
Sadler says when he first tried Booza, only one flavor was available. At Republic of Booza, nearly 20 flavors are served up right now, some classic, global, and some experimental. And that's your CBS 2 News update. I'm Mary Calvi. Have a great weekend.